Welcome everybody to Service Drive Revolution, the #1 show if you have a service drive. Please say hello to my trusty sidekick, Christian Lafferty. Did you see that little intro I did for you, Christian? You only see it if you're watching this on YouTube. If you're listening to this in your car, the convenience of your home, that was video magic. That's what we call that. Video magic.
So good.
We have an exciting show for you today. We have a celebrity interview with a TikTok star, Mia. We also are going to answer your questions. But I have a couple things to talk about right off the top here that I have to get off my chest.
Let's do this.
The first one is it was leg day today.
Yeah. And
I could eat a cow. I switched up my workouts, and so we're not doing full body anymore. We're doing today we're doing legs.
Yeah, the lower hemisphere.
Where I was doing a little bit of legs on Monday, a little bit of legs on Wednesday, a little bit of back. Now it's just back on Monday, back and shoulders on Monday.
Okay.
Legs on Wednesday, and chest and arms on Friday. And I could eat on leg day. Are you ever just super hungry?
Yes.
On leg day? I've already had 2 protein shakes. I ate that huge lunch and I'm starving. Okay, I did this thing for one of our elite members, Roger.
Which is awesome.
Who's a sweetheart.
Yep.
So I did this Zoom thing for them, which was super easy. They were really fun, but they were having some sort of meeting in Florida, part of Lithia, who's one of our clients, and they sent me a card. This is pretty funny.
Nice.
So they sent me a little package. I was like, what is this? Because sometimes, you get little stuff. And so nice little card says, Chris, thank you for lending your knowledge to our team. We appreciate you helping us grow. We hope you enjoy this WAG gear. Oh, because it's Williams Automotive Group. Yeah. So WAG, cute. So they sent me this pink, what do you call these things? These rubber
Is that
bands,
a dress band or something?
Kind of Armstrong.
Livestrong, yeah. Remember
Livestrong,
those?
Yeah. So the thing I like about these bands, I wouldn't wear this because it's pink.
Yeah.
Not that I'm against pink, but it's not my style. But the thing I like about these sort of bands is you can snap yourself when you say something negative or whatever.
Or think something negative.
You can have that.
Thank you.
But what troubled me about this is that I believe, you know how they say the camera adds 10 pounds?
Yes.
Maybe the camera adds 100 pounds?
Or 10 sizes.
Because what they sent me here is a quadruple X. Literally, bro, you and I, and this is a nice polo shirt. So they sent me a t-shirt and a polo shirt. So this is a Greg Norman golf shirt.
Yeah, those are
very
great.
Nice. Quadruple X.
Yeah.
Literally, you and I could fit in this thing. Do you want to try it? Do you want to climb in here with me? You're no. Look at this. There's enough room in here for you, me, and a bulldog.
Yeah.
What do you think they were thinking? Or do you think that it's possible that this was just leftover stuff and they weren't?
I think that this was all thoughtful.
Do we ever do this to people? When somebody calls in and we read their question on the show, we ask them their size, right?
Well, I think the crew that's in charge of that does a really good job of those things.
Oh, and then this one is an XL.
So that's perfect.
So maybe they thought this one was for you?
Well, I think they thought that the 4X was for me.
We need to point out to everybody listening that Christian, for the second week in a row, is campaigning really, really hard for Kanye 2024.
Yeah, I made some adjustments.
How many Kanye for president shirts do you have?
Let's just say that I stopped by the dollar store and I emptied my wallet.
So post-election, they're not they didn't hold their value?
Yeah, so they went on sale. So
this shirt, if you can't see it, says Yeezy, but the E is an American flag?
Yep.
Yeezy 2024.
Yeah, so it was originally 2020, but so that I didn't have to buy another shirt in 4 years, I just turned out the 0 at the end and made it a 4.
I like this. So the back of
powered by
this
people.
Toyota, Honda, Lexus shirt says "Growth powered by people." Kind of cool. Well, thank you for the swag. There also was a gift card in there, which is super sweet. I don't know that you guys did not have to do that. But hey, thank you. I don't know what we do with the golf shirt. There's nobody here that big.
No,
Do you know anybody that big?
Yeah.
Who?
A couple
You
clients.
don't, do you?
I know. I feel like it's
But
probably.
do you think if the client doesn't work at that dealer group, they're going to wear a shirt from a different place?
There's no chance. You're right.
So let's talk about the psychological warfare you have been raining down here at the office.
What do you mean?
Like, for the longest time, we've been in the Peloton cult.
Yeah.
So Pelotons, if you don't know, are stationary bicycles where you take like a spin class online. It is the most genius business model you've ever seen because they basically charge what a gym would charge every month, but they don't have a gym and they make you buy the bike. You buy the gym, then to pay them to be in their
Brilliant.
cult. And they gamify you, and they're always tracking you. And so here at the office, it all started with, it was a Christmas gift for Patricia. Mm-hmm. I forget, maybe her husband cued us in that she wanted one. I forget how it happened, but we got her one, and then she loved it. Mm-hmm. And so then we got one here at the office. Then I moved and took it with me, and we got another one because you loved it so much.
Yeah, we're a 3 Peloton family.
But even to the point, like, kind of pre-COVID, Christian was planning his travel. So if he was going to a client, he was looking in the area to see who had a Peloton because him and Patricia in the office were competing to see who could do anything. And I think at one point you clued me in. I didn't know that the reason why Patricia set up my Peloton for me, I thought it was because she loved me. But you clued me in that it was so she could spy on me. So she knows what everybody is doing on the Peloton. She can see what everybody's doing.
Memorizes the stats. And
so you were trying to beat her. And then at some point during all this, because I kind of do my Peloton thing alone, knowing that she's watching me, but you know, doesn't matter to me.
Nope.
At some point this flipped.
Because she was the star to start, right?
So now that we have 3 Pelotons, and it's so on the Peloton you have classes by trainers. And the idea behind the Peloton business model is they were going to hire the best spin trainers in the country and syndicate them. So that's basically what you're paying your membership for, is the best, most motivating instructors teach these spin classes online, basically, right? So they're very talented trainers. But I have a different taste in my spin instructor than you do or than Patricia does.
Yep.
Patricia looks down on my spin instructor.
She does.
She's like a cheap hussy, I guess we'll say, or a stripper, because she wears body glitter and very colorful clothes and heavy eye makeup.
Yeah, she's a glitter shamer.
Yeah, so but if you look past the body glitter and the heavy eye makeup, she's the best trainer on there because she gives out great motivational quotes. So I veered off of the track. Her name's Olivia.
Yeah.
On there. I veered off Olivia a couple times. Classes aren't as hard, not as fun. I love her little motivational quotes. I follow her on Instagram. I think she's great. And so, I don't know, who's her favorite one's, like somebody named Jed?
She likes Alex a lot.
Alex is boring. He thinks he's a Southern Baptist preacher. And the thing also I don't like is he doesn't do the class with you. Most of the time he's just standing there yelling at you. Like, you feel like you're in Sunday service in, like, the South. Like,
well, he's got some good classes. That I've taken some of the Alex classes, and I've gotten pretty good scores.
I gotta be honest, I took one, and I wasn't into it.
Yeah, maybe you picked the wrong one. It's almost like turning to a book, and you get told that anything in the book is going to be awesome, and you turn to the book, and it's not that good. But mine's Robin.
That's never happened.
Never once.
Robin is your favorite?
Yeah.
Robin, okay. So I had this idea, because we all have different favorite instructors, that we would have a competition, because, you know, Russo's been doing it. I think Michael's dabbled in it. Like, everybody's kind of dabbled in the Peloton thing. I thought it'd be fun if we had a little fitness challenge. So I proposed. It was just one morning. I come in. I'm over there warming up my breakfast in the office, and Patricia comes in, and it's just me and her. And I'd had the idea the night before. I just thought I would bring it up, and I said, I think we should have a Peloton challenge where everybody, like, we pick 5 classes, and then everybody does the same class, and then we kind of take everybody's output, their score. So the output on Peloton is your resistance level and your speed kind of combined. And we have, like, a prize for the winner in the office of who does the best over the 5. And Patricia just instantly said, well, Christian will win. And I was like, well, no, we'll have a contest over 5. Well, Christian will win. And then I'm like, well, what do you mean? Like, he'll win. And I'm like, what about me? Like I don't have the opportunity to win. You don't, Russo can't win? Michael? Have you ever seen Michael on a Peloton?
What about Russo's calves?
Yeah. It's like the size of a truck.
I know.
No chance. Like, you're so far in her head. How did you do that? Let's make this show about this. Tell everybody how you psychologically program somebody that you just win no matter what. Because I want to do that to people. I want people to just think, oh, he wins.
Well, if I think back, one, it certainly wasn't intentional. And as we started to do the Peloton thing and she explained how stalking worked, of stalking other members, I would go in and I would do a class that she did, and then I would beat it. And then I would do that and keep hopping above it.
How does she not understand that there's an unfair advantage to knowing what somebody's score is? Because when you're taking the class and you're following the instructor.
Yeah.
If I knew that your general average output was something, I would beat it.
You would beat it.
Because I wouldn't even be paying attention to the instructor. I would just be pumping the whole time.
But what I think happened was that I did that.
I would just be pumping the whole time.
That's awesome.
How can we turn that into a Christian joke?
Right?
What do you do when you're riding the Peloton? Pumping the whole time.
But yeah, so I think what happened was, and she
hasn't connected those dots.
Well, I don't know if
she just sees that you go and beat everything she does all the time, and so that's how you're in her head?
I think that must be it.
But she never comes behind you.
So she has done that to me. I think the thing is that she's lost her Peloton confidence. But if you see...
How do you lose your Peloton confidence?
I don't know, but I'm telling you,
Is it a fear of success?
No.
Fear of failure? What is it?
No, because I think she's one of the more competitive people I know.
I know, it blew me away, and I was like, no, like...
She'll find her groove and she'll beat me. I've
there was
no
a
doubt
time
in my
where
mind.
it wouldn't even have been a consideration.
I couldn't keep up with her. Remember,
I know.
You told me. I remember you're like, she's in your head.
Yeah, I was like, she's in your head.
And she was, for sure.
But somehow you flipped that script.
I don't know. I will tell you that I leave it all on the bike.
By the way, if we do that, I'm not letting you win. Like, I don't understand how you're like, just... Like, we just give you the trophy and we don't even go through the motions?
That's fine, but everyone who beats me is going to have to work.
Well, that's the idea of the competition.
That is the beauty of the whole thing.
We all have to step up to places we've never been before.
All ships rise.
We have to face our fears. We have to die from not being able to breathe, trying to beat whoever. Like, yeah.
Bring on the glitter. That's what I say. Bring on the glitter.
Pretty funny. She's in your head. So, Mia.
Yeah.
has 263,000 followers on TikTok. You've been going crazy on the TikTok.
She's a TikTok.
I'm gonna
badass.
start doing videos on TikTok. I'm thinking motivation for bulldogs is what I'm gonna call it.
I love it.
Kind of insinuating that we're all bulldogs.
Right.
Like if you're a winner, you're a bulldog. You got bulldog mentality. And I'm gonna read like quotes in the morning with my bulldogs. I'm thinking about doing something like that. But Mia does great stuff for service advisors where she pretends like she's the customer, the advisor, role plays different scenarios. She's hilarious. She has over 10 million views. And recently we had a chance to catch up with her and do an interview. So check this out. Christian and I are super excited today because we're huge fans of Mia Griggs on TikTok. We're new to the TikTok, Mia. Christian's gone a little too far into it, but we're trying to talk about how we could post and have fun, but we love your videos. And I have the first question I have to ask you is when you talk about females in the industry, do you think that it's changed in the last 10 years, or do you think it's still the same?
That's a good question. I think it's getting marginally better, but that's only because there have been laws put in place to protect certain marginalized groups, I guess would be the best way to say that without being inflammatory. But I think even with certain laws in place, dealerships, shops, and even customers in general still get away with a lot of really crappy behaviors, unfortunately. And I could go on for hours about that. I'm sure it is getting a little bit better because it's becoming more common to see women in the field. But it's still very, very uneven, I guess.
Yeah, I think and Christian could pipe in here too, but I feel like the employers, whether it's dealerships or shops, or have come light years, but I still see quite a bit customers challenging female managers or advisors, and it's always surprising to me, but I do. I feel like that still hasn't changed as much. But I feel like the industry as a whole, there's just so many great female leaders, and some of the top advisors in our group are females, and so I feel like that has changed dramatically. Don't you, Christian?
I would agree 100%. I think that there's something to that. And that's one of the things I see your videos on most is that customer condescension. And like, I can only imagine what that's got to be like for you after 10 years of dealing with it. Right. And I think it's amazing that I don't even know all the time if the customers know that they're like that. I just think that like it's somewhere like totally wired into their system that the woman can't possibly someone that they have to talk to a man. And like, I've seen it so many times, that thing where like, can I talk to someone else? Like, I want to club somebody. Like, I get it, the frustration and everything like that. But I would like to say from the owner's side, at least what we've seen is that they are way more embracing to females. And it's amazing to me how many times a female will get into a situation that's all male dominated and kick everybody's ass. Like that happens regularly with us. So I think that the performance is helping to change the industry for sure.
Yeah, I agree. I do think that the inside of the industry working harder to make strides towards being more equal between the genders. But you're 100% right. The customer base has not changed really at all. And it really depends on where you're working too, what the demographic of the area is too. I've worked in places where 90% of our customers were, elderly people who are maybe a little bit more set in their ways still. And I've worked in places that were more yuppie, it's like millennials that are my age, and they're a lot more open-minded and progressive, I guess. So a lot of that plays into it too, but I agree 100%. So,
what's interesting, Mia, is we have a lot of car clients, and then we have truck clients. And it seems like it happens more with the car clients than it does with heavy duty truck. And you would think truck would be more guyish or whatever. Is always interesting to me that it's less there, which kind of, I don't know. Some of this stuff never makes sense anyways, but
yeah.
It's interesting.
No, I've noticed that too, for sure. I worked for a company that I'm not going to say the brand because I just don't want to get in trouble, but that they don't really sell trucks, the manufacturer that I'm talking about, and that was the worst customer base I've ever dealt with.
So how do you, if there's female advisors out there in a constructive, positive way, what is it that you do? Like, I see a lot of the female managers in our group will kind of laugh it off. But how do you handle it in a positive way, or how do you create a positive outcome from buffoonery?
That's a tough one. It's definitely, it depended on the place that I worked at. And it was really, this sucks to say, but it was really up to the service drive manager and how they wanted to handle it, because I am assertive. I'm an assertive person. And if you are incredibly disrespectful to me, I probably won't be very nice to you. But I've also learned, like, every time I would start at a new shop or a dealership, I would say, hey, if this happens, how do you want me to handle it? And I would just do whatever they said. So some of the dealership managers would be like, just smile and just give them what they want. And so I'd have to do that. If they were like, well, I don't want to talk to you, I want to talk to a guy. Okay, Brad, can you come help this, sir? And then at my most recent shop, not the one I work at now, but my last job before I got laid off due to COVID, my boss was like, you're allowed to stand up for yourself. If they refuse to talk to you because you're a woman, you can kindly, keyword, tell them they can take their business elsewhere. And that was amazing to me that they allowed me to advocate for myself. And so I did. I was never rude. I was never mean. I was never like yelling or anything, but would just very kindly say, if you're not going to allow me to help you, I don't think I can help you further. So, you might just want to go somewhere else. And 9 times out of 10, that usually knocked them off their high horse, and then they let me help them, and then they realized that I was really good at my job, and there you go. So
the takeaway, when you take it away, they kind of reassess their position in a way?
Pretty much. Yeah, when you put your foot down, it kind of, I think, knocks a little bit of sense into them. So.
You have a really funny TikTok kind of about that, where you pretend you're the guy advisor and all that. I think that was one of the first ones I saw, and I thought it was hilarious.
The long face thing too is great, where she's the customer in the long face. Those make me laugh.
You're very funny, by the way.
Super funny.
You're very funny. Okay, so then one thing you have a position on is, how do you avoid getting taken advantage of as a service advisor?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Are you talking about from like a customer standpoint or from an employer standpoint?
I would start with employer.
That's a really good question. It's tough because for a long time I didn't know how to advocate for myself, and I didn't know how to prevent myself from getting taken advantage of. So I always say, if you are interviewing for a service advisor position as a woman, you have to ask the tough questions. You have to know exactly, like I said before, how they would expect you to handle a situation like that. And then don't be afraid to stand up and speak out when things do happen. When you're getting harassed, or you feel like you're not being listened to, go to HR. And if HR doesn't do anything, go above them. And I think people nowadays are so scared to stand up for themselves because they're afraid of backlash. But even if you do get backlash, like, standing up for yourself when stuff goes south is the best thing that you can do for yourself. And if you lose your job because of it, fine. Like, you shouldn't work for that company anyways. So.
Okay. How about customers? What are your top 3 secrets as a service advisor? Now moving this towards just connecting with customers. I believe an advisor's role is to collect customers and make friends. And so what are the top 3 things that you do as an advisor to take care of customers? What is the secret?
The secret, which probably isn't a secret because I'm sure this has been beaten into our brains over and over, but my number one thing that I value the most is customer rapport. And something that I had to learn along the way was, when you first start at a new shop or whatever it may be, your customers aren't going to trust you because they don't know you. And there's such a negative, the automotive industry in general has such a negative stereotype. So you have to learn that building customer rapport can take some time. But once you do, you have customers for life. And I I really saw that happen at my last shop. And because I was there for almost 2 years, and when they come in, like, hey, how was your kid's baseball game? Or like, and you become family with these people. So my first piece of advice is just know that customer rapport does not happen on your first day. It's going to take time. You're going to have to put in the work. You're going to have to build that trust. And once you do, I mean, you are golden. You're set. My second piece of advice is to not take things personally. Also something I struggled with for a very long time because I'm obviously a very emotional person. I'm very animated, and so I take things personally. So when customers would get mad or upset with me, or they would be super angry for whatever reason, I took it upon myself as my problem or my fault, and I'd get really upset about it. Not to the customer, but I'd like go into the back and be like, super mad about it. And so I had to learn that you have to put yourself in your customer's shoes, and you have to think about, why are they mad? The reason that they're mad is probably valid, even if they're not treating you with respect, even if you don't, as the advisor, don't think that it's a valid reason to be upset. They're upset, hard as it is, to put yourself in their shoes, and just be empathetic. And when they are being angry, or they are yelling at you, or whatever it may be, it actually does help manage the situation a little bit better, and also helps you calm them down, because it's not just a back and forth of they're angry, so you're angry, and then it like builds up. It's easier to kind of diffuse the situation when you put yourself in their shoes. And then the last thing I would say is probably, this may not make sense to a lot of people, and it probably sounds bad, but when you're at work, you're at work. You're not there to make friends. You're not there to, you're not there to make friends. And I know that a lot of people are like, well, your work is your family and blah, blah, blah. And I do agree to that to a certain extent. But as somebody who has dealt with being dealt not the greatest hand in the industry, I think you have to learn to protect yourself. And this goes for men and women. I'm just clarifying, that's not just women. And obviously treat your coworkers with respect, and treat them the way you would want to be treated, but also protect yourself, protect your heart, and protect your paycheck. Because in turn, that, at least for me, that helped me be a better advisor, because I could put more time and energy on my customers and not trying to deal with drama on the drive, if that makes sense. And just kind of be, an unbiased person on the drive. And for me, it made my life a lot easier. So.
So the first one, and I love that you said family, right? But the rapport, and then the second one you said empathy, which I love. The third one I don't agree with, and that's one that I've had disagreements with shop owners and dealers and managers, because to me, like, I don't know, like, I feel like I'm friends with everybody that works for me. And I feel like people end up feeling that way because they're not honest about things. Like, I feel like people hold things in and then they overreact. But if you're authentic and honest in the moment, I don't know. I wouldn't want to work with people that I don't feel like are my friends. I would hate that environment. I wouldn't want people working for me that I didn't like, because then I would feel like my customers wouldn't like them. I don't know. But I guess you're coming from the point of view of an advisor too, so you have to work with whoever's there, so it's a little different.
Yeah, and just really quickly, I think your perspective is totally valid too. And I'm not saying that I go to work and ignore everybody and don't get along with people. I get along with my coworkers every single place I've ever worked at. I'm the kind of person that I am very friendly and outgoing, but I still keep people at a distance because I've been screwed over so many times, and I've been stabbed in the back way too many times by coworkers, that for me personally, I just have to protect myself in order to, because I'm not going to get into it, but there's been several instances where my CSI bonuses were sabotaged, and I lost most of my paycheck because of it, and that's happened on several occasions. And so for me personally, I guess I'm just jaded, and I won't even lie. I'm a little jaded, and I've just had too many bad experiences with coworkers to want to have that family connection with them. And I'm not saying, that nobody else should feel that way. That's just my personal opinion. So
I feel like if I worked with you, I'd be laughing constantly.
Yeah, and I'm that way too. I'm naturally a very bubbly person. I'm a Gemini. That's how we are, but
I'm a Capricorn. What does that say about me?
I don't know. I just know that Geminis are
possibly the funniest people on the planet. Geminis definitely are the
Gemini.
Geminis for sure. 100%.
Are you a Gemini, Christian?
Yes, I am.
Oh, see,
Yes.
bias. Well, we're huge fans, Mia. Anything you want to talk about, kind of in wrapping it up?
No, I think you guys are great, and I'm really glad I discovered you, and I'm super honored that you guys even talked about my TikToks on your channel. I think that's really awesome, and it's appreciated. So.
Oh, we're huge fans. You're so funny, and I hope you keep doing it. So everybody, if you have TikTok, you need to go to Chaotic Feminist and follow her and watch. And then she also has a podcast. So you started a podcast?
I did.
And it's called Cars, Chaos, and Coffee. Cars, Chaos, and Coffee. That's a great name. Well, thank you so much for coming on. Everybody, check out Mia, and hopefully we'll talk again soon, Mia. We'll tag you on TikTok when we start doing them. Thanks, Mia. That was pretty fun.
Yeah, she's awesome, isn't she?
I think your jokes threw her off a little bit.
And I think that we tried to prep her on how crappy they were, but I just don't know if it was good enough.
Just people are not ready for how crappy your jokes can be sometimes.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
They don't get that that's the funny part, right? That they're crappy.
I don't want to tell good jokes. Who wants to make people laugh?
It's about crappy jokes.
Meh.
It's hilarious. Okay, now we're going to go to your questions. If you call the hotline, the Service Drive Revolution hotline.
What's the number?
And we play your question on the big show, we're going to send you swag. That's how people hit me up on Instagram all the time. Like, how do I get a trucker hat? How do I get a coffee mug? Call in with a good question. And if we play it on the show, we're going to send you a swag bag. The number is 8333 Ask SDR. Or if you don't know how to spell, it's 8333275737. But if you have any questions, we are here at your disposal. Also, you do not have to keep the questions to just service drive related things. If you need relationship advice, financial advice, I love helping people fix their marriages, or, hey, if your girlfriend cheated on you, call in. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're here at your disposal, whatever it is that we can help you with. But let's go to our first question.
Hey guys, I have a great situation and question for you. We have a vehicle in the shop. Customer authorized a diagnostic repair of approximately $1,600 and was made aware that the repair may or may not fix their symptom, and we would need to go further if not. Customer agreed. We replaced the part, and of course, it did not fix the problem. We spent a little extra time for free, unapplied time, trying to research, remedy the problem, got the manufacturer tech line involved, and long story short, the next repair is replacing another part in the car of about $2,300 repair. The customer is, of course, very upset and frustrated, and they believe that they should not have to pay us anything because it did not fix the problem. And on top of that, they also believe that we are supposed to remove the part and put the old part back in at no additional charge. Looking for some advice. how would you handle a situation like this? We are at the point of potentially doing a mechanics lean, looking for suggestion. And if you guys have ever run into this in your career or any of your businesses that you deal with. Thanks. Bob from Cuba.
Bob from Cuba?
Did he say Cuba?
Cuba?
He didn't sound Cuban.
Communist country?
I don't...
With the good cigars?
Yeah.
Bob from Cuba. Bob. Okay, Bob. First of all, good question. Thank you so much. This is something that I would believe that if you have been working in service for more than a year, you've seen this. I've certainly seen this a bunch of times in my career, so it's not unique. I think there's a couple lessons in this. One is in the frame up front. So the customer needs to understand up front that we pay the technicians by the hour and we're charging for their time, just like a doctor or a lawyer. So if they spend time on something, if you go to a lawyer, they don't guarantee the outcome of what they do. And so that's always a frame that I've used in a complicated scenario like this, is that it's, technicians have a degree in working on cars, and it's just like a law degree or a doctor. They're kind of a car doctor in a sense. We use that analogy a lot. And so we have to pay them for their time. And sometimes diagnosis is more like detective work. It's not cut and dry. And so they have to replace one part to find out that it's another part. And you have to do it through a process of elimination. But that's something you need to say up front. It doesn't work in the rears as well.
Never works as well in the end.
Yeah. Then the other thing I would say is when it comes to repair authorization is, and we addressed this last week, should have gone higher. Like $1,500 wasn't going to fix the car. So I like to push into the pain a little bit with the repair authorization and say like, so I'm going to give myself $2,000 to work with, but it could be more. And see what they say, like read their body language, pay attention. Like they will tell you if you push into that, oh, I'm not spending more than $1,300 or I'm not spending more than $1,500.
And then you know what you have to work with. I think the other thing too, and it sounds like Bob did try to do that where they sold the initial job for the $1,600 and said it could be more. But I think that part of that is you have to confirm that your customer gets that message. And I would say that doing analogies like you with the doctor and the lawyer, like everybody gets that. That makes a lot of sense. And we don't always do a great job of that. So I think that, like you said, the lesson is learn not what to do just to fix the situation, but to make sure that it doesn't happen again. I feel like the mechanics lean is probably the wrong way. I feel like there's a resolution with the customer in this case because we have the customer, we know what the part is that needs to be done, and we probably want to come up with a resolution before the mechanics lean.
And he said he's calling the manufacturer hotline, which means you're probably with a brand. Yeah. And so maybe call your factory guy and try to get some goodwill. Try to get some help. Even if the car is way outside of the scope, sometimes they will help you with that, so I would try for that. And just remember, everybody listening, remember to the words that I use, because words are very important. When you're explaining to a customer how we diagnose a car, use the term process of elimination. Because what the customer has in their mind is, you're going to know exactly what it is, and that's going to fix it. But no, it's a process of elimination. And sometimes when I'm explaining repair authorization, I'm saying like, I got to give myself something to work with. It's a process of elimination. So say you have a check engine light on, I got to put an O2 sensor on. Sometimes the O2 sensor is one of a couple things that need to be addressed. It isn't always just one thing. With coolant leaks, runnability, you got to be honest with the customer and tell them the truth. It's not your car, it's their car. Okay, let's go to the next question.
Hey, good morning, Chris. My name is Willie Lagos. More than a comment than a question, actually a thank you. Every morning on my way to work, I watch your videos and your show basically, and it just pumps me up, man. More than anything, I just wanted to thank you and your team. It's made me grown, made me a better service advisor, and as a whole, just as a better person, man. So I just really wanted to thank you. Please don't stop. And, man, one of these days I'm definitely going to join your class, so I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Chris.
Oh, thanks, Willie. That's really, really sweet of you. I appreciate the kind words. It means more than you know. Thank you so much. Is that the last question?
We have one more we can do.
Okay. That wasn't really a question.
No, but that was good.
This next one is.
My name is Ice. I'm from Seguin, Texas. I am currently a service writer, and I've been starting for about 6 months in March when this whole COVID thing happened. I've been in the industry for 6 months now, and I haven't stepped foot before then. I have gradually seen improvements in my work there, but I haven't been getting the proper recognition. When I started, I got on a pay plan of hourly, and now 6 months into it, I am not able to progress my pay plan. However, I am now a full-time advisor, but still hourly. I have gone to the owner, who has then referenced me back to my managers, who have then denied me of any kind of future profit, growth, anything until a year. I believe I've been working hard enough and have shown my worth there to have a pay raise within my first year evaluation. I feel like I've properly talked to my managers and my owner on how to get this compensation, but I'm not seeing any growth. I am a person of growth, so I am currently thinking about stepping away, but it's kind of hard when I know I need a year's worth of experience to move from another dealership. If you can help me out with just trying to, I guess, understand how that works, or if I am being taken advantage of, like I do feel, that would help out a lot. Thank you so much. I appreciate y'all. Bye-bye.
Yeah, so it was Ice? Did I hear that right? Ice?
I'm not sure.
Is that a
It's
nickname?
close. It was hard
It's
to
kind
hear.
of a badass nickname, Ice.
Oh, yeah.
What's your name? Ice.
Worked really well for Cuban tea.
Ice Cube and Ice Tea.
That's right.
Do you have a joke about Ice? No, nothing?
No.
Okay. So I think, my opinion, is that what you have right now is an opportunity. And you mentioned in there, and it sounds like you have a pretty good head on your shoulders, and you kind of understand that there's a price to pay, but you need to be there for a year. In the long run, let me tell you how much advisors make. You ready? Can I present this like a Christian joke?
You can.
Christian, what do advisors make?
Chris. $500,000 a year?
No, wait. So I'm going to say, what do advisors make? And you're going to say, I don't know, Chris, tell me what advisors make.
Oh, it's so hard being on the other side of this. So,
Christian, what do advisors make?
I'm not sure. What do they make?
Exactly what they're worth. That's what they make. And so focus on your numbers. Here's the thing that you have right now, is you have an opportunity to put together 6 months of stats where you can walk into any service department and say, listen, this is what I do. These are my numbers. These are the numbers I'm putting up. Would you like somebody this good? Customers love me. I sell. So I think what you have right here is an opportunity to put together a track record and focus on collecting customers and learning everything you can about the job and beating your numbers every month. But if you can, at the end of the year, you're putting $120,000 a month in parts and labor, you have high hours per hour, and you have great customer satisfaction numbers, you're going to make exactly what you're worth. And if they don't want to keep you where you are, you'll go somewhere else. Chances are, at that point, they're going to keep you. So you have an amazing opportunity. We all had to pay a price in the beginning. I got passed over, I think, 5 times to be an advisor. I wasn't paid commission right away. It's an opportunity. Once you do become commission, you're going to make a great living. But just remember, it's about collecting customers. When we send her swag, let's send her the Millionaire Service Advisor book also. Read that book. Like, immerse yourself in that book and focus on your results and your numbers. And at the end of 12 months, even if you have to eat top ramen, I ate top ramen in the beginning.
It's the best 13 cents you can spend.
Yeah. You go to Costco, you can buy a ton of it for $4 or whatever. You won't exactly be well nourished, but you got to pay a little bit of a price and an investment. So pay the price and you'll figure it out. I literally, in the beginning, was sleeping in our band room. Like, I would sleep in our band room because to drive back to my mom's, was an hour and something. So there were nights where I'd sleep in the band room and then go to work,
Yeah. I love how aware she is of the potential of her job.
Yeah.
I think that's really exciting. Those are the kind of people that really get it going for me. Like, I love that stuff.
Great questions. Thank you so much, Ice. And check out that book. Read it. It's an easy read and it'll give you some good ideas, but focus on your number. So remember, the number is 8333 Ask SDR. Have a great week, and we will see you next time on Service Drive Revolution. Thanks so much for watching this episode of Service Drive Revolution. We're uploading new stuff every day, so make sure you subscribe and click the bell icon so you don't miss out. If you have a question you'd like us to answer on the show, call 8333 Ask SDR, and we'll answer your question on the show. That's 8333 Ask SDR. For special deals on our books and training, head over to offers.chriscollinsinc.com. Now that's offers.chriscollinsinc.com. I'm Chris Collins, and I'll see you in the next video.